Good night, good morning, and good evening. This is Hentai Happy, and I'm here to provide you with an update. A status update. What am I up to? Well, let's listen. First off, I want to apologize for not making a video in months, basically, because I'm busy as hell, including work, and suddenly, there's an outbreak of the coronavirus. So basically, every time you go outside, there's a chance you might catch something, you know. Just a few weeks ago, it felt like coronavirus in Japan didn't have a place. I think we had like maybe between 9 and 14 cases. And then suddenly, a cruise ship coming from Taiwan or something had 90 infected people. I don't know if those 90 infected people were from Japan or they were from elsewhere, but it contributed to the toll that the news provided when they were broadcasting certain events about the coronavirus. So that brought up our total to 104, 114 cases in Japan. And then, a few days ago or a few hours ago, it was announced that another cruise ship had docked on the Tokyo Bay and there was 454 infected passengers on it. So I don't know why there's a cluster of infected people that always take the boats, the cruise ships. But I'm assuming that they take the cruise ships because they're trying to get into the country on the sly, assuming that they won't be as rigorously checked up on as the people who take the plane. So thankfully, these people were caught, and I'm hoping that they're isolated. I'm assuming that the reason why they're all infected is because they're on a small space for a long period of time, and that's what contributes to the toll or the rise in coronavirus in Japan. I've been hearing some crazy stories recently of people fighting for masks, waiting in line in the morning before the store opens, a 2 hour wait, a 2 hour lineup just to get masks, pushing each other for those masks, limiting customers to only one brand of soap per purchase, for only one purchase of soap per customer. I don't know if it's one bar of soap or that box of soap. I have no idea. I haven't gone to the store for that purpose. But in light of that, I decided to check Amazon for masks, and what I found was severely disturbing. I couldn't find any mask that was Amazon Prime shipping, as in sold by Amazon, meaning. And most of the masks on there, probably 99.9%, from what I saw, were private sellers that marked up the prices of the masks. So you would get like 3 shitty masks or 4 shitty masks for $29.99 or $20.99. Sorry, 2,999 yen, and that's absolutely insane. They're gouging the prices because they know the people need the masks, and because of the fear mongering. I'm not sure if I can call it fear mongering now that the situation has gotten to this point, but it's severely creepy. So I'll tell you something that happened a few weeks ago, and I thought nothing much of it at all. I was on the train in the subway on my way to work, and I was just sitting there playing with my phone, listening to the quartering, It's a Gundam, whatever. And I'm there, or it was probably Camelot's Woes. Yeah, Camelot 331. I don't know. I don't know. It's either one of those guys. And I'm there listening to this stuff, and then out of nowhere, a woman collapses on the ground of the subway. So they call the assistant subway train maitre d'. I have no idea what you call them. Captain? I don't know. And he comes and he looks at her, and then he's like, oh shit. He radios somebody on his walkie-talkie, and he tells everybody to evacuate. So he stops the train, turns off the lights, tells us to get the hell out of there, and then he also gets the hell out of there. And they isolate the woman, and then they rush to the final stop of the subway station, and we're out of the train. We got kicked out, so we had to wait for the next subway train. And once I get to the last area of the last stop of the subway train, whatever, I see the lady and she's being pulled out in a stretcher. She collapsed on the ground. She was like totally out cold, and they were putting her into the ambulance, right? So the ambulance took probably 10-ish minutes to get there. So what I can assume happened, I was like, oh, maybe this is mass hysteria. There's only 14 confirmed cases in Japan, right? And I don't think she's going to be one of them. And then later, I call work and I tell them, this is what happened, whatever. And, a few weeks later, I get the situation that everybody's fighting for masks and everybody's fighting for soap. So I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, not focusing on the news, not focusing on anything. And then, I got a text today from a girl. She said, oh, be careful. Everybody's getting sick now. I'm like, what does she mean? And then, I was talking to my mom. My mom's overseas and she's telling me, somebody told me that it's very dangerous in Japan. And I'm like, what type of poppycock is this bullshit you mean? I mean, we only had a ship with 90 confirmed cases. I don't even know if they were all the people that lived in Japan. Maybe they were people that weren't from Japan and they were going to be turned away. What's going on? And then she's like, no. This girl told me to watch out. I told her, don't worry about it, Mom. So I go to check the news. And then I see we have over 500 cases of coronavirus in Japan. And I was in disbelief, right? I couldn't believe it at all. I was like, okay, they were making out coronavirus to be like the next devil, something's going to happen. But whatever, Japan handled SARS pretty well, The number of sick people of SARS never reached the number of people that had the coronavirus. So now, I'm hearing news, I'm reading news about people fighting over soap. I'm reading news about people fighting over masks. I'm reading news about the lineups. Pretty soon it's going to be the rations for food. They're going to be rationing out food. People are talking about buying dust masks for, LP5 masks or LG5 masks. I don't know what they are. Some of them are arguing that the masks that we usually use on a daily basis and the ones that are sold out are the ones that are useless. And then they're telling us to go to hardware stores and buy filtered masks that have a disposable filter. So every time you use a mask, you have to throw it every time you have to use the mask, you have to throw the filter in the garbage. So I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be an expensive expenditure right now. Well, what am I supposed to do? I already got some masks left over from, just buying masks and then losing them. I have them all over the house. I don't know if I'm going to be able to survive on those masks. Am I going to have to go to a hardware store? Are the hardware stores going to have the masks since they're sold out just about everywhere? People are fighting for masks. What am I supposed to do? I don't know. And there's price gouging too on Amazon.co.jp, usually where I get some type of masks, So now I have to get a quasi-professional mask, or I probably think it's a professional mask for spray painting and, doing some type of dust, something that involves dust like woodwork and stuff. What am I supposed to do with that? So right now I'm at a crossroads. What am I doing? I'm looking at the news. I'm trying to see, what's going on right now instead of being out of the loop like I usually am. I don't care for the news. I'll admit it right now. I don't give a shit about the news. Really pisses me off anyways. So yeah, about the news. And I don't know about the food. What am I supposed to do for food? Am I supposed to go outdoors? Am I supposed to buy the food from the convenience store? What exactly is going to go on? People are talking about, hey, we're going to work in the morning and it's all crowded. And companies are telling their people to avoid close contact, to avoid touching each other, doing teleconference meetings, working from home. I don't enjoy those luxuries, unfortunately. I can't not come into contact with people for my job, and I can't do teleconferencing for my job. My job is is very mano a mano, if you get what I'm saying. So I hope the conditions improve. I hope we don't get to 500,000 instead of 500. I hope they find a way to beat it down. Let's see what the tolls were for SARS in Japan, the SARS outbreak. SARS outbreak in Japan. How many people were infected for that SARS outbreak 2003? I remember in other countries they were closing down schools in regards to SARS. 2002. Count infection count. I remember that it was a very low number, and so China strain. So every time I search SARS, I'm getting fucking coronavirus, which is a pain in the ass. SARS. Let's look it up historically. SARS. Let's go Wikipedia, because that's all we can do now, considering that it has the same COVID. It's a COV, and Wuhan virus is COVID-19. Okay, so let's see the outbreak of SARS in Japan. In Japan, we had so China had 5,000 cases. Oh my God! So there was basically nothing compared to what they have right now with their oh my God. Japan doesn't even register on the SARS cases. I don't know why it doesn't register here. Fucking let's see here. Japan. Okay, so they don't talk about it. So I remember that Japan immediately took action for the SARS thing, and there was only like one confirmed case or something. I was a child in that time, so don't hold it against me. I was like, wow, Japan is kicking ass and taking names when it dealt with the SARS outbreak. And probably I was right. There was probably like one person that was infected with SARS. And now the top countries for the infection of coronavirus are, let's see, coronavirus. Let's see here. Japan enters coronavirus. Oh, come on, Wiki, please. Jesus. So, let's see. Coronavirus. Let's see the countries, outbreaks. Okay, so they're not writing them down, but I know Japan is pretty much up there now. So it's funny how it's the absolute opposite now. I think Tokyo had only like one confirmed case of SARS, and it was a guy in a hotel. And they stopped it right there. So about that, I'm going to try my best to stay healthy, eat healthy, and be of a healthy mindset, considering all the negativity that's spreading surrounding this potentially dead virus, potential deathly virus. Sorry. So deadly. Is it potentially deadly virus? There you go. So thank you for tuning in and watching this video. I appreciate it. I'll be doing more videos as the day progresses. Let's see what happens. I'll give a bit of an output. And take it easy, guys. Love ya. Good night, good morning, and good evening. This was Hentai Happy. Here for you, baby. Yes, good day. It is Hentai Happy. And I have some news